What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. In this video, I've got another incredibly important AMC update to bring all of you this afternoon. Now, this video in particular is going to be one of the most important videos that I make on AMC on this channel, and this is really information that you guys all need to be fully aware of. So what we're going to be talking about in this video is the fact that there is a path right now that short selling AMC, the ability to actually take out a loan and short AMC, the stock, is going to get turned off. Now, there's an actual path for this. There's a time frame on when we could expect to see this happen, and we're going to go over that in depth in this video. This has to do with failure to delivers and AMC being placed on the threshold securities list. Now, back in January, GameStop was actually placed on this list as well, and we're going to look at that time frame on when we saw GameStop's massive rally up, when they were put on the threshold security list, and make some inferences on what we could see out of the price action for AMC once we see the short selling of AMC due to this failure to deliver problem actually get turned off. Now, in addition to this, we also have some very important updates about the collateral crisis going on in the United States banking system. There are two key things that I want to bring up, and it just furthers my speculation and theories that collateral is a hot commodity in the United States market. And in order to make the levered trades that these big institutions need to, in order to generate returns, it is becoming increasingly more difficult for these institutions to get their hands on collateral. So before we get into all of that information, if you enjoyed the information and analysis that I provide for you in this video, make sure you go down and hit that like button. It costs you nothing to do it. And if you guys would like to earn 2 free stocks with Webull, valued up to $1,850, make sure you check out that link down below in my description. So at the current time that I'm recording, AMC is chilling out around $57.10, down about 1.7% on the day. We did see a rip up above 60 this morning, but that price level was not able to be sustained. Now, when we come over to Ortex, we can see that they're still shorting the stock according to the reported numbers by Ortex and their estimates. So we can see that they borrowed right now about 1.33 million shares, and the short interest, the estimated short interest, is now at about 19.22%. Now, in order to fully understand how the ability to short AMC is going to get turned off, we have to go back to something that we were talking about last week. Now, this was the FTD chart that we were basically speculating on when we see these T plus 35 dates for when the FTDs need to be closed out. We typically saw an increase in the AMC share price. We can go through this again, but I don't want to take too much of your guys' time in this video. So we can see that on these June 21st, 22nd, and 23rd dates, we had a massive FTD spike that was supposed to be getting closed out around these dates. Now, when we were thinking about the actual price action that we saw for AMC last week, we didn't see a jump in the share price due to these FTDs getting bought back and closed out. Now, when we come over to this website right here, this is going to be the New York Stock Exchange threshold securities list. And we can see that as of yesterday, AMC is still on this list. And the first day that it was put on was actually last Friday, as we can see right here. Now, what exactly is this threshold securities list? A threshold list, also known as a Regulation SHO threshold security list, is a list of securities whose transactions failed to clear during the previous trading days. Threshold lists are published in accordance with regulations set out by the SEC. So essentially what is happening here is that a stock gets put on this list when a bunch of failure to delivers happen in a sequence, a sequence of days where we see a massive spike in these FTDs. Now, what happens? Why is this so important that AMC has been placed on this list? Here is why. So we can see this rule of regulation show states that a clearing agency participant that has a failure to deliver position in a threshold security, which AMC is now currently listed as, for 13 consecutive settlement days, may not accept a short sale in the security or enter a short sale in the security for its own account without borrowing or entering into a bona fide arrangement to borrow the security until the participant closes out the failure to deliver position by purchasing securities. This is how the ability to short AMC is going to be drastically decreased, most likely. Now, the reason why this is so important is because we are going to have to wait for these 13 days to really see how this is going to play into effect. But here is what I want to bring up to you guys. When we look at this page right here, this is January 21st, 2021, a couple of days before we saw GameStop have its massive rally, and GameStop was listed on this threshold securities list. Now, I think all of you guys remember back what happened in January, but let's take a look at GameStop's chart and see exactly what happened to the share price once GameStop was added on this threshold securities list, and the shorts were not really able to get their hands on more shares to sell into the open market. So we can see that January 21st was right around here, and GameStop was trading in the $40 range, and then we saw that massive rally up all the way into the $500 range before we saw the ability to trade and actually buy GameStop on a lot of these different brokerage platforms actually get turned off. Now, that is going to be very important a little bit later in this video, and so is that 13-day period that we also discussed. But first, I want to kind of put out a disclaimer that just because GameStop was placed on this list on January 21st and we saw this massive rally up basically right after, that does not necessarily mean that we are going to see the same thing for AMC. It is entirely possible that we see AMC start to rally up off of this pretty good news for those of us who are actually invested into this company. But again, I do not want to get everybody's hopes up putting out dates for when we could expect things to happen. So I just wanted to put that out there. Now, another thing that we just briefly touched upon is that when GameStop and AMC were rallying back in January, a lot of these different brokerage platforms turned off the ability to buy the stock. Now, when you turn off the ability to buy and you can only sell, it floods the market with selling volume. And when you look at the market from basically just a simple supply and demand perspective, where if the supply outweighs the demand, the share price will go down. Now, we are seeing something very similar to this happen at the current time. Now, the brokerage that is essentially telling its customers at the current time that on or by a specific date, they are going to turn off the buy button again is Trading 212. So when we come over here, we can see, if you haven't already seen, as of this morning, Trading 212 are forcing customers with a general investment account, but not ISAs, which is the equivalent in the United States of an IRA or a Roth IRA, a tax-free investment account, to agree to their shares being lent out. And if they do not agree to this by July 13th, then you aren't going to be able to buy shares of any of these stocks. But you're only going to be able to sell or decrease your position. Now, this is by July 13th. If you look at a calendar from when AMC was actually put on this list, and you look at the specifics of how the ability is going to be turned off for shorting for AMC, this 13 trading day period actually is going to be happening on July 13th. Now, this could be a coincidence, but I highly doubt that. They are fully expecting the ability to short stocks like AMC, GameStop, and a couple of these other high potential short squeeze companies to no longer have the ability to short, and they're going to need to be able to get their hands on shares in order to essentially control the price. What all of this new information is basically telling me right now is that we are potentially very close to kicking off this major market event that we have all been kind of waiting around for to see what happens with this over the past 6 months. Now, in addition to this, there have been some updates on the collateral crisis that I have been talking about in my videos over the past couple of weeks. Now, when we come over to this right here, this is going to be the amount of reverse repo that has been submitted and accepted. Now, if you are still confused about reverse repos, we are going to go over this and any other questions that you guys have about this situation in the live stream tonight. So we can see that the amount submitted for reverse repos, 841 billion, accepted 841 billion, with 74 participating counterparties. Now, what essentially is happening here is that banks are swapping out cash for treasuries. We're going to go over this a little bit later, but we've talked about this a lot in my videos, and I don't want to make this video too long. Now, in addition to this, we also have received a notice from Wells Fargo. We periodically review our product offerings, and we are writing to inform you that we are discontinuing our personal and portfolio line of credit products. So essentially what they're saying here is that if you have a really large investment account, you can take out a loan against it to essentially utilize the money that you have in your investment account without creating a taxable event that you would have to pay taxes on. So this is a really good program if you guys would like to utilize it, if you need to make a large purchase, but that is besides the point in this video, and nothing I say in these videos is financial advice. These are for educational and entertainment purposes only. But Wells Fargo definitely engages in a lot of these loans. And a quick side note, Wells Fargo is also one of the only banks that holds the mortgages that they write in their own portfolios. So that could be another catalyst for why Wells Fargo could be hit the hardest when we see this market event start to come. But this is just telling me that they need to get money back for a purpose. They have loaned money out, and they know that by September 8th, 2021, they are going to need this money back. So this is all very interesting information that we need to keep an eye on as we get into the end of the summer and the beginning of the fall. So that is going to conclude this update on AMC, GameStop, and this whole short squeeze situation that we have on our hands. So if you guys enjoyed the information and analysis that I provided for you in this video, make sure you go down and hit that like button. It costs you nothing to do it, but it really helps us out a whole lot in getting more people fully informed about what is going on. And if you guys would like to see more videos like this, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on that notification bell so you're notified every time I post a new video, so you get to stay up to date on all of your favorite stocks, learn about a couple of new ones, and see exactly which options I am trading and which strategies I am using to trade them. So I hope you guys are having a great day, and I'll see you guys in the next video.